Yeah. And Fanny,
Oh.
like we mentioned earlier.
Again, I mentioned it, but it was unlikely for me. So, wow, Demon Kite.
Which team that's going for though? Welcome to the English desk. Again, I'm Naisu, joined here with me is Ingan, and we're jumping into the land of Dawn. It's game number 2 in the last series of the day. We'll see if Aurora has the lineup they need to take it to a game 3, because if you guys missed it, game 1 was a very quick game for Smart Omega, and this lineup, we've seen iterations of it before. And this is a whole lot of utility, man. I just straight off the bat, you take a look at the emblems fall into place here. Even with Renegay's fancy footwork on the Cho, you have a Matilda, a Theramis, and a Hylos.
Yeah, if you're Demon Kite, you're expected to snowball, but how though? Like, it's hard because, again, the protection coming in from Ukir. Ryota also has the Glorious Pathway and the Revitalize. Plus Matilda Chaknu, but look at this. Andori goes in. 2 versus 3, but the damage coming in from Aurora is just too much for Omega so far. And Renegay flickers in! Wait. I thought there was going to be a follow-up coming in from Demon Kite, but still they're just zoning out Omega and invading the jungle creep. Renegay might go down in the hands of Andoryu. There it is, but in exchange for Demon Kite, a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah.
No, a 2-for-none trade. Omega wins, yeah.
I was going to say, I was as shocked as you were.
Yeah, I thought Andoryu died there, but he was the one who slayed Aurora. So 1-0-1, a good start for Andoryu.
And that's the thing, like going back to the lineup that they had, it's good to be aggressive, especially you have this Cho pick here. It's a marquee pick for Renegay. But look at the damage already.
Good pull coming in from Ukir. Wiki Shadow kill from Andoryu. Luckily, Renegay survives.
Okay, going back to the point, you have to do a lot right if you're Aurora here to get through the amount of sustain, the amount of utility that Smart Omega's lineup gives them. And we've seen teams do it before. It's all great. This is going to be objective, easily secured for Smart Omega. But that's the thing, you know, when do you hit that switch if you look at this lineup from Aurora? Part of the fact, too, that Demon Kite is playing this Fanny is you know that if you aren't able to match up, and that's why they're being kind of so aggressive, because if they fall behind, Demon Kite is then susceptible to getting pressured for his purple buff, and we know how important that's going to be for him as the game goes on here.
Yeah, basically the purple buff is going to be a neutral objective that both teams will contest to try to prevent Demon Kite from snowballing. And this is where, this is what Redmar was saying a while ago. Aurora's strength is also their weakness. Their snowball capability is there, but with the current rate Omega's playing at 2-0, they were able to get the kill onto Demon Kite. It's going to be hard to snowball from here.
Okay, when we look at this too, Ingan, you have to look at, because I know I've been talking about a lot of the sustainability and utility from Smart Omega. Let's think about Rora here, because Renegay, just like we saw from the previous game with when he was playing the Jawhead, it's more or less the same concept, right? You want to just kind of get in there, get the kickoff, and hopefully get a pickup. If that doesn't happen, if it fails, I would say generally at the Cho, you have more options to get out of those dicey situations. But if they fail there, and then they struggle, I mean, there, you can see it, right?
Okay, Ukir pops his Purify. And Demon Kite goes in with the cutthroat steel cables, but look at the save coming in from Ukir with the Nether Realm. Rora has to back away. Now another initiation wasted for Rora.
That's it. So you're going to see that many times here. You guys watching at home, you're going to see that kind of interaction happen. There's going to be a Purify, there's going to be a Nether Realm, there's going to be one of those utilities thrown out here. And Rora has to check those boxes off. So they've got a whole list of items, kind of chores, if you will, to go through. And Renegay has to be that guy. For the most part, it's going to be up to him. And so sometimes, good job pulling that through, too, that purple buff. Sometimes he might get it. Sometimes he might just get a Purify like he did right now. And that's all part of the plan. So then Demon Kite has to be able to shine on the Fanny pick with the damage that he has. You can see this. They've got the information. We got a couple Purifies out. Let's try to take this turtle here, and that's exactly what they put the pressure for. Jome is also in the mid lane, so they can join it.
Edward goes in with an Infernal Pursuit onto Chaknu. Here comes the Glorious Pathway. Demon Kite being zoned out by Ryota. It's going to be a Retribution battle, but Demon Kite still gets the turtle. And now look at this. Aurora finding Andoryu, finding the turtle, and just outplaying Omega during that time.
Rora gets a whole lot out of the exchange. And I'm going back to what I said. It was Renegay that checked those boxes for them leading into the objective. and then they were able to cap it on out. And that's kind of going to be the game for them. So they might feel a little, you know, this whole list of things they have to go through. But as long as Aurora gets that down, they allow Demon Kite to shine. Even if it's not getting kills, but he's able to get these objectives, that's great for Aurora as they build up time. Because again, we're talking about Domeng on this Harith. Will hit that spike when he needs to. And even for Yue, a Jushin pick that we don't necessarily see. I agree with Redmar. Coming into Season 14, I was always expecting to see her, and then she kind of just fell off the face of the earth. You know, she really wasn't picked up much. But she still provides quite a bit to the team in terms of utility and how that flare is utilized as well for Yue.
Yeah, not so much the damage, more of the crowd control. But again, the mobility of Omega is just too much. They also have the Matilda with the guiding wind. So anytime can give a signal or help for the rest of their members to go out in case they get caught by the Lantern Flare. But here comes the members of Aurora. Flicker in, coming in from Renegade. Kick onto Andorio. Andorio has to walk away. Here comes Demon Kite. Glory Pathway is there also. But here comes Chaknu and Ukir. I'm not sure who got the purple. But now Chaknu still continuing to go right after Aurora. And let's see who got... Andorio.
Yep.
Still Andorio. Okay.
Doran managed to get it. Again, he's going to be fighting both the junglers. Goes in with a shadow kill, but not sure. There's a follow-up.
Domeng goes in with his Ammon Force, finding Andorio. Look at Demon Kite, the cables. Cables in, cable out. Spear of Destruction is going to hit, but he's not going to... Oh, he did. And the clash will end.
Big J shows up, and that's the thing. You know, you got to keep doing that. Turtle's now up here, third one of the game. Rora's in a good position to go ahead and start this up. They know a lot of that utility, a lot of those ultimates were expended, but the Purifies are still there too. So Smart Omega looks like they're just going to give this one up. You still have Andorio top side of the map. They might just try to trade an objective if they can find it, because right now Aurora will secure it, last turtle of the game. And as you see, Tier 1 top side will be the trade as Smart Omega goes for that. So still holding on to what they can for now. But right now, Aurora taking their time, finding objectives. They've got 2 turrets down, plus that last turtle. And everything that this leads up to is once we get to that Lord in about a minute and a half or so, we get to that point, Smart Omega has to have that answer, you know, and that's always the troublesome part is you're going to notice this. Rora tries to get the ultimates or battle spells out before the objective take.
Yeah, and it's coming to the point that Omega, they do have the sustain, they do have the mobility, but for some reason they're lacking the damage so far. There are setups coming in from Ryota, but Jom will be picked off there by Demon Kite. It's a go signal for Aurora to go once again. Edward, Infernal Pursuit onto Ryota, despite the glorious pathway. Now picks him up with the Lantern Flare. Ryota won't be able to out-sustain the damage of 4 members of Aurora.
Wow, even with that. So, you know, we didn't get to see what happened, and now under the turret, Domeng.
Domeng goes in with his Ammon Force. The turret is still there. Demon Kite, will he try to go for it? They're going to go for the turret instead. But here comes the kick from the Renegade. Catches Andorio. Is going to bring him down. And we can hear the screams from the crowd because Edward goes in with Infernal Pursuit. But Jom with a good Spear of Misery to bring down Edward.
Still worth for Aurora there. Not only did they get another turret down, they got a couple kills as well. And, you know, that's Edward's job. He's that front line. He's throwing himself there for the follow-ups. But at this point, Smart Omega fallen behind a bit here. And, you know, it was a great pickoff, really, from Demon Kite. That's what he had to do earlier on in the 1v1 against Jom. And so Jom, you know, I would say for the first time, at least throughout the series, when he does pick up the Mozkov, you know, he's going to feel that pressure. Sometimes he's not safe if he's just sitting in a side lane farming up like we've seen so many Mozkov players do. Just because of the threat now, even for Demon Kite. If he can just swiftly, you know, pop in, get the kill, that's great for Demon Kite and Aurora. So now with the Lord coming up, I mean, you could even see once the utility, even just one of them is down, it might backfire in Smart Omega. Andorra is going to go ahead and get his purple buff started here. Team gets in position for Aurora around this Lord, and they try to force them out of it. Again, it's all about positioning with this, especially in this area for that. Flasky the Waste is picked up. Lord is up for the taking. Note the positioning for both teams. Managing the waves the best they can. Lord's going to be started up by Aurora, as they should with the lead that they have. There's Renegade going to the front.
Oh, looking for Ryota this time. Edward continuing the Infernal Pursuit. Domeng goes in. And now here comes the glorious pathway. Edward still working on Shaknu. Demon Kite just waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike. Renegade with a beautiful knockup. Picks off Andoryu there, but here comes Ukir with the Nether Realm to save his members. And Demon Kite with the steel cables. Cutthroat in, out. Andoryu still alive here. Jom and Ryota will fall down, but Renegade is out as well. And look at Domeng and Yue. A double kill for Aurora.
Smart Omega just got handled. And even though they tried to get outside of the map for a little bit, Roro wasn't having it. And Doru, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to pull off the impossible, just zoned out. Zaman Force dropped down too by Domeng. And that's going to be an objective. That's going to be a Lord going to the hands of Aurora.
And this is what you want if you're Aurora. Isolate the clash. Don't go 5v5. Don't go in situations wherein Ukir can utilize the Nether Realm as much as possible. Although you can go to really tight places to activate Demon Kite with the steel cables as much as possible. If you isolate Omega, almost all their kits become non-existent.
Yeah, it almost becomes obsolete at that point.
Yeah.
And so now look at the pressure. This is what I was saying could have happened to Aurora too. But luckily for them, they've gotten the control for the majority of this game. At this point, they're going to take the resources out from Andoru. So he's going to feel that pressure. And right now, like you said, if they fight in the choke points and Demon Kite comes sweeping in with this Fanny, that's a disaster for Smart Omega, especially when the Nether Realm is already gone. Even the Revitalize here. So they got to deal with the Lord. It should be a quick work, but the shields are definitely going to be popped here. Renegade will take a couple shots, but the objective right now for Aurora is these turrets in the base.
Okay, so Renegade has to respect the damage coming in from Jom. Omega also has 3 Purifies. The pull coming in from Ukir. Now Renegade can escape there. Lantern Flare from Yue is also there. They were able to defend all 3 inhibitor turrets. Now, I mean, I have to commend Demon Kite and Renegade here. Demon Kite started things off with 0-1-0.
Yeah.
But Aurora made sure that Demon Kite was still able to get his buffs, which activated him. And for Renegade, despite 3 Purifies, you can see all the way up to Drakman still connecting. For somehow always catches either Andoryu or either a Ryota, and this time Ryota is going to be caught there by the Lantern Flare from Yue. But still, Omega defends their inhibitor turrets.
Yeah, I would agree with you here. And I think anybody that's ever played a Roam or let's say a Cho and you've gone against multiple Purifies, you know how difficult it is to actually get that pick off, to get that Way of the Dragon that you're looking for. Because sometimes you're putting yourself out there in the front lines just to get a Purify down or one of the utility spells here. And so Renegade's been doing a phenomenal job at accomplishing that. And that's why, again, like you mentioned here, Ingon, is why Demon Kite has had this game on the Fanny so far. Not to mention, it's just a signature pick of Demon Kite as well. And he plays it really well to the point where he's confident enough to go 1v1 against, I would say, almost anybody, you know, at that point. And so if you're Smart Omega at this point in the game, 13 minutes in, you've really got to stick together. You've really got to play your own form of an Ube strat, right?
Dance
like,
to your own beat, basically.
Yeah, you can. Even for example, like Jom, you guys are so used to seeing Moskov players just sit in a side lane and go untouched and then join the fight with the Spirit of Destruction. But he almost can't do that because of the threat of Demon Kite right now. So they're forced to always stick together, and this was very different from the game that we saw from Smart Omega in Game 1 because of the fact that they had that Louis Yi combination where, you know, he was just sending everyone everywhere. Here comes Renegade again, spotting out.
He has the conceal, but Ryota stuns him. Now Yue and Renegade just working on the zoning onto Omega as Aurora tries to burst the Lord. Here comes Edward with Infernal Pursuit.
Oh!
Renegade gets caught up there. He's going to go down. Andoryu wants to go for the Lord steal. Spirit Destruction is going to hit, but Demon Kite gets the Lord. They have to disengage now. Netherrealm will be casted, but Aurora still standing their grounds. Wants to go for more, but they will still get the Lord.
Oh, man, that Spirit Destruction went right between everybody. And although they got Renegade, still at the end of it all, Aurora will get the objective. Massive lead for them. And you can see it, even when it looks like there's some fighting in there for Smart Omega, they have a numbers advantage. They can't actually withstand all that damage. The economy is so different in favor of Aurora right now, so they're going to have to find themselves on the defense in the base as Aurora looks to go ahead and take out all these turrets with this push.
The inhibitor turret onto the middle lane will fall down. Demon Kite steel cables wants to go for Andoryu as Omega tries to defend the Lord. Look at Yue just spamming the Lantern Flare, wanting to pick someone up. It's going to be onto Ukir, but Ukir manages to escape. They still have minions onto the mid and into the bottom lane. And one inhibitor turret left for Omega.
So they hold on. Massive lead right now. Still ballooned a little bit further, or nearly 10,000 ahead for RORA. Smart Omega holds on to the one base turret on the bottom side. And just how the last fight we saw, you know, you're going to have to wait a minute and a half for the next one. So that's about the amount of time that Smart Omega has to figure something out, to farm up to where they need to be to get a potential pick off themselves. But really, when you look at it, who are they going to pick off from RORA? It's almost better if they just get to the point where they're in full fighting form for the Lord, because I think the next push in, that's the thing they always have to worry about, is once it comes into that Lord walk into the base, RORA's lineup will allow them to put so much pressure that your back is almost forced to your crystal, and then you're just gonna, the game is gonna end.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying they have to go ahead and get this table turned right now, because a massive lead like this, 10,000 gold deficit, if you're Smart Omega, you got some work to do here, and you can see that.
At least a pick off, ideally, without using, but Demon Kite goes in, brings down Chaknu, even with the circling eagle, manages to catch him off guard with the steel cables, and that's one member down for Omega. Now the question is, will Aurora wait for the Lord, or will they force a push?
Demon Kite, Demon Kite. He does this on the fanning. Like I said, he'll do it time and time again. This time around, he picks up Chaknu. So luckily for Smart Omega, Chaknu will be back up, or at least should be back up by the time this Lord fight actually breaks out. He's up in 10. The items, though, you know, this is what I was talking about, where they really need to build up here. You don't have all the defensive items that you need. The massive gold deficit between the two junglers. Looks like Andoru just picked up the Malefic Roar. But still, the difficult part for Andoru is actually finding the space to initiate and get into these fights. Sometimes, because of the fact that he barely got the purple buff earlier, you don't really have the opportunity to go in there. And you can see how much focus has just worked on zoning out Smart Omega from joining this Lord fight. And Demon Kite will actually just go ahead and make his way probably for his purple here in a couple seconds coming up.
I think he wanted to attempt to go for Jome, as Jome was clearing the bottom lane. And now after Andoru gets his purple buff, they can easily burst down this Lord, because they know that Jome has to really manage waves in the bottom lane. But again, this is a Moskov with a Spear of Destruction. And we'll see. Will Omega still contest? Or will Aurora just finish this off?
All right, they're working on the Lord. They know Jome's down there now. Demon Kite, the rest of the team's going to go in, it looks like.
Renjay goes in. Here comes Ryota. Edward once again with Infernal Pursuit. And look at Demon Kite! Brings down Chaknu once again, like the replay we saw a while ago. Glorious Pathway and Salmon Force is here. Andoru doing his best with a Wiki Shadow Kill, but he's going to fall down as well. Ukir, 1 second before he respawns back. The Lantern Flare from Yue will bring down Ryota. Still trying to out-sustain the damage, and a triple kill from Doming with minions onto the middle lane, and we are going to a game number 3.
And Aurora will come out in game 2, just like we saw Smart Omega do in game 1. And for the highlighted match of day number 2, we wouldn't have it any other way going to game 3. Great performance. Once again, you saw that Fanny pickup come through for Demon Kite in the draft, and everyone